Now, I tell you what, there's another gentleman on the phone all the way from Venus Bay. He makes music that I like as well. From No Promises, a band duet that we've promoted a lot on this show. Eric Collier, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great to have you on board, loving the work that you do. We're going to touch a little bit of that at the back end of our chat, but the Regional Roundup is about finding out why your region is good. Why would people want to go to Venus Bay, Eric?
Because every day feels like a Sunday.
You should be in marketing.
That's what it felt like when I first moved here. I moved here in 2012. And I just, it was just like, wow, every day feels like a Sunday. I lost track of what day it was.
But professional musician, that would be normal, wouldn't it?
Well, I call myself a stay-at-home musician.
That's working out well, but it is a lovely part of the world. It's got a bit of the attachment of the coast, but also some wonderful scenic hinterland to view. But what about the town itself? What's the buzz in Venus Bay?
Well, I mean, it's only a very small main street, but there's a lot happening on it. Where I play regularly at a little cafe called The Cavity, and that's where I first started my music career in Venus Bay. And they're currently closed for renovations, but they'll be opening back up when the busy time starts. I think they might even be opening up for the Melbourne Cup if everything goes according to plan. But and there's another takeaway shop, and there's a pizza shop, and you've got to have the general store as well.
Yeah, I think that's important. And according to Ewan, who's with me, you've also got to have good coffee. Do you have that?
There is good coffee. There's a selection of coffee places. Yes.
From my experience, you also need a good bakery.
Bakery, 100%.
No bakery.
What?
Not necessary.
Oh, really? What about, where do you get a vanilla slice and a sausage roll of quality?
General store.
Oh, okay.
Everything's just the general store. It's the Swiss Army knife of stores.
That's right.
Very, very good. So what's the industry in town? What employs most of the people in Venus Bay?
Tourism. It would have to be tourism. I mean, it's hospitality-based, I guess. And, there is two real estates as well. So what happens is people come down for their summer holidays over Christmas, and they have their dream summer holiday. And they go, oh, we'd like a beach house. So there's a thriving real estate market down here as well.
It says on the internet there, Rob, there's 944 residents down there. So that sounds like it's going to get 1,000 pretty soon.
Yeah, well, if they keep it up. If Eric does his job this morning, the real estate agents will be busy, and that will soon swell well past 1,000.
I'm hoping for spotters fees.
Is it a growing sort of area? Because I live in Torquay, which used to be that sort of small beachside town, and it's now evolved into, it's evolving into just another sort of suburb of suburban Geelong. Is there any fear with, obviously, I think closest town's Leongatha, which, as I mentioned earlier, no good coffee in Leongatha.
Yeah.
But
not that he's bitter about that, but
the coffee was bitter.
Closest town is Inverloch, which, as the crow flies, it would only be like a 2-minute drive if there was a bridge across the Tarwin River, but there's no bridge.
All right.
Around the long way, which is about 25-minute drive. And that's a little more advanced than Venus Bay, I guess, if you want your upmarket kind of touristy kind of thing.
2 general stores.
Yeah, a couple of general stores in Inverloch. Now, Eric, the cost of so places like that, the hidden little treasures, the real estate agents are busy, but how much would you need to part with to get a reasonable sized shack on the beach at Venus Bay?
Well, pre-plague, it wasn't too expensive. But, for example, there was a house 2 doors down from me that was for sale for $300,000 before the plague, and after the plague it was double that and a bit more.
All right. And are these spacious homes, or are they traditional old Australian beachfront shacks?
Well, a lot of it was vacant land, so a lot of the houses probably no older than probably 30 years old, kind of thing, right up to like only a couple of years old.
Yeah, okay. Tell us about camping. I suppose camping grounds, but I'm now the proud owner of a drivable home, and free camping is another appealing thing for us. What are people with either towing a van or driving their own home? Where can they stay in Inverloch? Venus Bay.
There's a caravan park in Venus Bay. If you want free camping, good luck with that.
Yep.
Being a tourist place, they don't really want people free camping. I do a little bit of free camping myself, being a travelling musician on weekends. Word of advice to free campers, don't park in a beach car park. You'll get pinged every time.
Okay. Sound advice. My next beach attempt will be at the Great Australian Bight, probably. Hopefully there won't be any one over there wanting to nail us. We've got enough room over there. But the other thing about Venus Bay, you've made it sound a pretty place. It's relaxed. Every day is like a Sunday. But what do you actually do other than the beach? If I'm not a beachy person, is it a lot of walking tracks, bike paths, things like that?
There is. There's a bike path in between Venus Bay and Tarwin, which also has a general store.
Good.
Beyond that, there's not much where you can cycle or walk from. You could walk along the main roads, but I wouldn't recommend that. It's not good for health and safety, I wouldn't have thought. But there's some scenic drives. You could drive down to through Walkerville and go to Sandy Point, which is a much smaller version of Venus Bay and probably what Venus Bay looked like maybe 10, 15 years ago.
You say you play at the Cavity. Is that the local pub?
What was that, sorry?
You say you play at a place called the Cavity. Is that a local pub?
It's a cafe.
Oh, it's a cafe. Is there a local pub?
There is a local pub. Tarwin Lower has a pub called the Riverview Hotel right next to the river. And that's just been taken over by a new crew who are full of energy and ideas for how to get that buzzing. So that's going pretty good so far.
Is there a lot of sweets that they sell at the Cavity? Or is it all smiles?
I can see where you're going with that. Great seafood. The food is amazing.
No, it's really good. Now, I'll tell you what else is amazing is the music in town. You produce most of it with no promises. It must be a really cool place to play as well because, as you said, if everyone's in that relaxed mode, a beer or a coffee or whatever the case may be and some nice little music in the background, it sounds pretty good. Yeah,
the Cavity have been consistent in their efforts to put on live music for the last, well, they've been there as long as I've been there kind of thing, so probably the last 10, 12 years. And so that, every Friday night there's something on. Over the summer there's something on musically most days.
So what's the radius in which you work to go and play music, Eric? How far do you have to travel just to keep a pretty relaxed life for a musician?
I travel as far as I need to go.
And anyone else have you, eh?
Yeah, if they're willing to pay, I'm willing to go.
So would you get into sort of Frankston, Dandenong, into the fringes of Melbourne?
I play at Rosebud RSL once a month. I play in Somerville at a bar called Vest Bar once a month, and occasionally a little social club called Club 27 in Langwarrin. Last week I played at Sale Bowling Club on a Sunday. That was pretty cruisy. So I travel around a bit. Occasionally do some interstate stuff as well.
And still in between all that, creating more new music?
Yeah, my friend Janine, she just writes songs. She's a songwriting machine.
Yeah, we've chatted to Janine before, and I'm stunned with what she keeps churning out, and then you just grab hold of them and put your own little piece on. So I suppose keeping up with that would definitely fill the gaps.
It's a full-time job in itself.
And you're going to produce the one day that's going to have that magic sound that's going to capture everybody's attention, and your career will then fly to... You'll be able to come down and play at the Palais in Geelong.
I can see it already, Rob.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
It's a pretty cool venue down here. No, we'd love to have you down here, but it might just take that one magical song, and we wish you best in pursuing it, but love what you do. For those who want to listen to Eric's music, you'll have your own website. Also, No Promises, where he does wonderful duet work with Janine Garvey. Tell us where we find your music, Eric.
nopromises.com.au will point you in all the right directions, like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. We're on YouTube Music. We have our own YouTube channel as well, so there's a few videos on there. And our social media is a bit under the weather at the moment. We had some Facebook issues recently, so we've had to start a new one of those, which is never fun. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Good on you, mate. Best wishes. Thank you for telling us about the place that feels like Sunday every day, Venus Bay down in South Gippsland. Best wishes with your endeavours, mate, and thanks for your time this morning.
Have a great weekend, everyone.